my first time getting these bitches while I'm alive, you hear me?
How to give it to you while you here?
Main bang,
You know, we flying high together.
we was all dead people, huh?
I believe that. Where that bitch pouring it?
Oh, and you know who I'm talking to. I got your last page deleted.
Yo, what's up everyone? Your boy is back with another story. And I'm telling you, this situation between NoCap and NBA Youngboy is quickly becoming genuinely dangerous. NoCap, and I'm not talking about some standard industry disagreement or rivalry. This is entirely personal. This is about one close family member turning against another. And when you have two young guys from Alabama with everything to lose going head to head, someone is seriously going to suffer. NBA Youngboy recently started taunting him, essentially claiming NoCap is now too old to rap after NoCap delivered what I consider to be the most disrespectful hidden insult I have ever heard. But wait, let me explain this entire situation to you from the very start, because this narrative runs far deeper than what you're seeing online right now. To understand how things reached this dangerous point, we need to rewind to when NoCap was just an ambitious rapper from Mobile, Alabama, determined to escape the trenches. This was around 2018, and the young man was hustling hard alongside his friend Rio Rodriguez. They had generated some regional attention in Alabama, but let's be real, nobody was seriously paying attention to rappers from Mobile like that. But here's where the plot thickens, people. NoCap began forming close ties with two separate groups simultaneously. On one side, you had Lil Baby and 4PF, who were supportive and discussing signing him. Baby even featured him on Dreams to Reality and was telling people he had signed both Rio and NoCap.
Two artists that I signed. Two of my artists.
Damn, you were not playing.
A little dude named Rollo and another one named NoCap.
However, according to NoCap, that agreement never truly materialized. Baby was simply discussing the idea openly, but wasn't prepared to finalize the official contract just yet.
I guess at one point, Lil Baby signed you, or no?
Nah, I didn't sign a Lil Baby. I'm still,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still an independent artist right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not, because there was something about you being Lil Baby's artist, but that's not true.
A lot of people, like, he was just rocking with me.
Why you troll Lil Baby, man?
Man, I ain't really nothing to talk about, man.
Did you get the record clear?
Talking about for Rollo?
Yeah.
I really ain't,
Like
I ain't gonna lie, like really this last little album, I ain't really tried to. You get what I'm saying? Cause it was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was what it is.
On the other side, you had NBA Youngboy and his entire 4KT movement. And this is the point where NoCap made the choice that would dramatically alter his entire life, both positively and negatively. He opted for Youngboy instead of Baby.
Hey man, we in the club, they don't play no Baby, man. Everything. When C-Team pull up, man, don't no Baby get played, man.
We don't hear that around here. Come on, hear that.
Hey man, now the city, man, when they playing Baby, we cut that shit off.
And at the time, it seemed like the most intelligent decision he could possibly make. Let me be completely honest with you all. NBA Youngboy is the reason NoCap became famous, plain and simple. Before Youngboy endorsed him, NoCap was simply a rapper with promise. But when Youngboy featured him on Out of Here Safe in 2019 while NoCap was incarcerated, that changed his entire career trajectory. That track exploded, and suddenly, everyone knew who NoCap was. Youngboy didn't just give him a single feature and move on. He welcomed NoCap into the Never Broke Again family, included him on several projects, and essentially treated him like a younger brother. When NoCap was dealing with a feud with Lil Baby and 4PF, Youngboy and the entire 4KT crew supported him. When Cold-Hearted Savage threatened to bar NoCap from Atlanta and seize his jewelry, Youngboy's manager immediately jumped into the comments to defend him. This appeared to be genuine family loyalty, or so it seemed. NoCap was thriving, his career was booming, and he had the protection of one of the most respected crews in hip-hop. Everything seemed perfect for the young man. But here is where things started to get complex. And this involves genuine street politics that many of you might not fully grasp. When you align yourself with NBA Youngboy, you don't just gain his support, you also assume all of his feuds. And Youngboy is in conflict with practically everyone in the industry. The first major sign of trouble arose when people suspected NoCap was insulting Lil Durk. Now, Durk is one of Youngboy's main adversaries. So, if NoCap truly was taking shots at him, it would have served the 4KT crew's interests perfectly. But instead of going along with it, NoCap went on social media and immediately clarified the situation. He stated he wasn't dissing Durk and that they maintained mutual respect. From Youngboy's point of view, this likely seemed incredibly weak. Here is the artist he made famous publicly declaring he has no issue with Youngboy's biggest rival. That is not how street politics operate, folks. When you're family, your enemies are supposed to be the same enemies.
I usually see if kids ain't all moving together,
Right.
they usually fall apart. Because, you know, sometimes what happens is when you're not around the team,
Right.
it's getting...
Fast forward to just a few weeks ago, and this is the moment everything truly collapsed. someone on Twitter suggested to NoCap that he should release more music with Youngboy. Now, most artists would respond with something like, "Yeah, we've got some fire tracks coming," or a similar generic statement. Instead, NoCap said something that completely set Youngboy off. He essentially stated he wanted to succeed independently so that no one could claim his fame was solely due to Youngboy. He mentioned they would collaborate on music later, but for now, he was focused on developing his own brand. Listen folks, that was absolutely the wrong thing to say to NBA Youngboy. This is a person who gave you fame, put you on the map, and supported you through all your conflicts, and you basically just implied you no longer needed him. That is profoundly disrespectful, and Youngboy made sure he understood that immediately. What followed next stunned everyone who was keeping tabs on this situation. Youngboy used the Never Broke Again Instagram account and absolutely annihilated NoCap. And I mean totally destroyed him, people. He stated, and I quote, "You a worker, fam. You ain't my brother. You pay me." That is incredibly cold-blooded. But he wasn't finished. Youngboy asserted they aren't collaborating on music because their relationship isn't close anymore. He called NoCap poor and demanded payment for features. But the part that crossed the line into extreme disrespect came next. Youngboy claimed NoCap only connected with him because he was hot at the time. Yet when the feuds became serious, NoCap wouldn't even pose for a picture with Quando Rondo. He essentially branded him a fake friend who was only interested in the benefits but refused to stand by the crew when things got dangerous. Then, Youngboy went for the jugular. He brought up how NoCap clarified his position when people thought he was insulting Dirk, saying that action proved he was terrified and not genuinely committed to that life. He said, "You the same kid who had to clear that name when the internet made it seem like you dissing and called him out for trying to stay neutral in an ongoing war." But wait, it gets even worse. Youngboy said something that I cannot possibly repeat verbatim on this platform. But let's just say he suggested performing some extremely inappropriate acts on NoCap. That's the moment you realize this beef escalated from professional disagreement to intense personal hatred, because that is the kind of insult that is impossible to recover from. NoCap attempted to respond and defend himself, claiming he had supported Youngboy for 3 years and always had his back, but compared to the verbal nuclear bombs Youngboy was dropping, his defense seemed weak. After Youngboy's outburst, people online started investigating and uncovered old Facebook posts from NoCap that made the situation even worse. Back in 2017, before his career took off, NoCap was actually criticizing Youngboy. He commented that he couldn't listen to Youngboy for more than 30 minutes, and that anyone who claimed Youngboy was better than Kodak deserved a slap. So now, the perception is that NoCap was a former critic who only started aligning himself with Youngboy when it became beneficial for his career. That is deceptive behavior, and it fully explains why Youngboy was so furious about the entire scenario. Now, fast forward to this week, and NoCap has been acting out on social media relentlessly. He's been verbally attacking his girlfriend Somalia Marie, calling out Chicago Heidi, and essentially feuding with anyone who mentions his name. The young man claimed he's currently on his Thanksgiving break and has time for everyone. But here's where things get truly insane, and this is the part that could turn this beef deadly. Yesterday, NoCap posted a tweet that sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community. He wrote, "If you're 23 years old, 3 years from now, you will be an uncle or auntie in this new generation." Now, superficially, that sounds like a random comment about how young people nowadays consider 26 to be old. But here's the crucial detail, people. NBA Youngboy just turned 26 last month. So, when NoCap talks about 26-year-olds being uncles and aunties, he is directly referring to Youngboy. And Youngboy understood that subtle jab immediately. He replied by saying, "I gotta put the mic up. Dang." Essentially implying, "I guess I'm too old to rap now." Let me explain why this situation is about to become seriously dangerous, folks. This is not just a standard rap beef where guys make diss tracks and talk smack online. This is intense personal betrayal between two individuals who were once considered family, and both have nothing left to lose. NoCap is essentially claiming Youngboy is irrelevant and too old to be a major force. That is the kind of profound disrespect that leads to violence on the streets. And Youngboy has already demonstrated he doesn't tolerate disrespect. Recall what he said about performing inappropriate acts on NoCap. That isn't typical beef talk. That is deep-seated personal hatred. Additionally, both of these guys come from Alabama, where conflicts are resolved differently than in other places. They both command crews, they both possess weapons, and they both have reputations to uphold. When you combine all these factors with the level of insults that have been exchanged, it's highly likely that someone will get seriously hurt. The broader takeaway here is that this whole situation demonstrates how toxic the music industry can be, especially when you mix genuine street politics with professional business. Youngboy helped NoCap achieve stardom, but he expected unwavering loyalty in return. When NoCap attempted to create distance and establish his own brand. Youngboy interpreted it as the ultimate betrayal.
Yeah, I'm still an independent artist right now.
Okay.
Now you have two young black men who could be earning fortunes together, but who are instead likely headed toward a fatal confrontation fueled by ego and insult. It's the same tragic narrative we've witnessed far too often in hip-hop, and it never concludes positively. Currently, both parties are posting veiled threats and making inflammatory statements online. But take my word for it, this confrontation will quickly move past social media. When there is this much intense personal animosity and disrespect, it's inevitable that someone will eventually commit an irreversible act. NoCap is behaving erratically and seems completely indifferent to the consequences right now. Youngboy has never avoided a conflict, and he has already demonstrated his willingness to be incredibly insulting. Both artists have dedicated crews ready to defend them, and both are in a situation where retreating would severely damage their standing in the streets. The neighborhoods are watching, supporters are aligning themselves, and the tension is escalating daily. This feud is poised to turn violent, and I sincerely hope both of these young men recognize what they stand to lose before time runs out. You all need to pay close attention because this story is far from concluded, and when the dust settles, someone's career, or worse, someone's life, could be over permanently. That is the honest truth about this NoCap and NBA Youngboy situation, folks. Tell me in the comments what you think of this entire disaster, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive updates. Until our next video, stay safe out there, because these streets are not playing games.